Hey guys, it's Sigmon45 here, my review for Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 3, Ghost of Mortis. This was the final episode of the Mortis trilogy, and I have to say it was a pretty good ending. So, it starts off with Anakin kind of conflicted of what he should do with the son and how he must be stopped, and in this whole thing with him being the chosen one is bothering him, and Obi-Wan's like, we have to leave, but then they find out that from Ahsoka that the ship is like really wrecked up and they have to have time to fix it. And Anakin decides to go and see the father for advice to what he should do about the son. And so while he rides on his bike, we see the father mourning over his daughter's death. And he just feels terrible about it and how he brought unbalance to the Force. And after that, he goes and he sees Anakin. Anakin asks him for advice. He says that he is the chosen one, and that he has to like bring balance. And he says, like, what do I do? Like, basically, because Anakin wants to stop this guy because he's he hates the dark side of the Force. And so, while after confrontation with the father, he leaves, and guess who returns? Qui-Gon's Jinn, and he returns and he tells Anakin that he is the chosen one in his opinion, and Anakin asks for advice, and Qui-Gon says to go to it's like a place of the dark side of the Force, I believe the well of the dark side, and to tell him to confront his demons, and then you can prove to yourself to how to be the chosen one. And after that, Anakin goes to this well, and then meanwhile the father confronts Obi-Wan and Ahsoka, and they talk about how Anakin's going to the well of the dark side and how there's much temptation. And this is what really got me when we saw the well. It looked exactly like Mustafar. And as you know, Mustafar was the place where Anakin and Obi-Wan dueled in Revenge of the Sith. And I thought that was just great. I mean, the scenery, the graphics, it felt like the dark side. Like, it just brought back from Mustafar, so I was impressed by that. And then so afterwards, after Anakin goes to the well of the dark side, he sees the sun, and he says, Anakin says, I have to kill you. But then he's like, oh, you misunderstood me, Anakin. I just want us to be like friends and align ourselves. And then Anakin doesn't want to, and so so the son does this time thing where he shows Anakin parts of his future, and this was the part that was pretty epic. And Anakin saw his future, which was him killing younglings, Darth Sidious telling him that he would be a powerful Sith, uh, see his Padme in the Force choke, and oh, another thing was a planet destroyed. And I thought that just brought back memories if you're like a diehard Star Wars fan. I'm guessing that was the planet of Alderaan. I believe that planet was destroyed. And then this ends off with like Anakin in anguish, and then so the ghost of Darth Vader comes, and then like after that, Anakin's like corrupted from the dark side of the Force, and then decides to be partners with the Son, and the Son's like, that's great, and then that we can go and destroy the Emperor and bring balance and peace to the universe. And so Anakin goes, and Obi-Wan follows Anakin and finds him, and he's confronted by this warped version of Anakin. And then the son, attacks him, and then they go to the ship. But then Ahsoka got a message. I got a message from Obi-Wan telling him to like take something from the ship so that it wouldn't like run. And so Anakin like goes and tries to chase after her, but the son tells him to stay where he's at. He goes off and gets a dagger from his sister's grave because he believes that his father and Obi-Wan would be too much for him. And then so, as Anakin waits, he sees the father again, and the father tells him that his son broke the rule of time, and that he must not have seen what he had saw. So, what the father did was he took the memories from what Anakin had learned and just erased them from his memory. So that explains a lot, that Anakin, he doesn't remember this. He doesn't remember him being Darth Vader, killing younglings, the Jedi. And that was good. because if they would have just left it like that, I would have just been confused and it wouldn't match up with the story. And then so afterwards, Anakin goes with the son and meets with Ahsoka and Obi-Wan, and they said they have to defeat the son right here at the place where Anakin was to test to see who the chosen one was. And so the son arrives and he's just mocking his father, and he goes and Anakin attacks him, but the son is just too strong with the dark side. He doesn't even need the lightsaber. But then the father decides to do something really like sacrificing by he takes the dagger and stabs himself with it. And then the son felt like, oh wow, Dad, you killed yourself. And then actually that the father and son, are connected within the Force, and that the power that he had would be gone. And then when the son looks after his father, the father like holds him, and Anakin just stabs him with the lightsaber. And it all ends within grief, with all of the three family of the Force users gone. And then the planet of the of Mortis just starts to be destroyed. And then this blinding light appeared, and after the blinding light, it's like a moment passed from the present time. And Captain Rex is like, sir, you've gone for a moment. And then they were like, oh, we've been gone for like a day or two. And then they just like don't say anything about it, and they return to the ship. And that's how the episode ends. I thought this episode was really good, especially when it got to parts with Anakin going to the Well of Darkness, and the Well of Darkness is scenery of the Mustafar, and him just going and remembering it, not remembering, but like the future was brought to Anakin, and that whole setting was just perfect. And Anakin for a moment was like a dark sider and wanted to bring peace, and it just seemed great. This episode was really good. I have no complaints really. It was a good trilogy, and it ended pretty good. And then the preview for the next episode is like it continues from the Clone Wars, and it's about the Carbonite and whatnot. But I'm not sure how much I know about that. Just from the preview, but it continues with the war really. This was just really a side quest for Anakin. But yeah. Anakin and Darth Vader. Seeing Darth Vader was just pretty cool. I mean, not seeing him physically, but as the ghost. And that's pretty much the episode, and how it all ended, and how just everything with that planet just disappeared and whatnot. The only thing I have to say though with this trilogy was that it was really predictable from like the first episode. The reason that being is because, see, the thing is, the trailers that this series gives is too revealing. They reveal way too much. Like when they did the New Time trailer and they showed Anakin fighting the sun and Ahsoka turned to the dark side, and everybody was saying, oh, Ahsoka's gonna die, Anakin's gonna kill her, blah blah blah. And people were just making this huge assumption. And then from like when they showed the preview of the second episode of the trilogy, it showed Ahsoka fighting Anakin, and really it's like, oh no, she didn't die, because in the trailer she was. And then no, actually it was when they showed the first episode of the Mortis series, because the Mortis series to me came really early. Like I thought it was going to be like during the last parts, and the people were like, oh no, she's not going to die, because he fights with clone troopers from the trailer. So it was kind of predictable. So that's why I believe the trailers in this. Hold on for a second. Move back there. Okay, and the trailers just revealed too much. That the previews revealed too much, and that's the one thing that they need to fix, and the flaws they have. And that's pretty much my review of this episode. It was a really good episode. The trilogy was good, and let's hope this trilogy is good. That pertains to the real wars on the planet, I believe. Looks like Felucia, but who knows. So that's it, guys. I'll see you guys later. I might do my review now until chapter 527, and I'll see you guys later. Peace. Yeah.